I was pretty smart. I was pretty good shape. And that was uncommon. That wasn't ordinary. And it was a shock. It was a shock to find out how people couldn't think through small problems, couldn't do rational thought, couldn't decide if somebody was telling the truth or not. Couldn't and waited for someone else to make that decision for them. People are always waiting for somebody else to tell them what to think. That's why I won't do it. That's why I refuse to do it. Everybody's, people didn't know who to vote for, so they figured out, well, who should I vote for? I'll see what my favorite celebrity said, and I'll vote for whoever they vote for. That's nonsense, right? Yeah. That's not voting in your best interest. That's just not being able to look at the data for yourself and decide for yourself. And then when you realize you don't have those sort of critical thinking skills, then you become desperate for someone to tell you what to think. And then guess what? Then you're in that position where you want desperately to believe a lie. Somebody comes along with the lie and gives it to you, and there you go. That's a recipe for trouble. You can't, when the population in general cannot think for itself or is unwilling to think for itself.
Yeah, I mean, most people, I went through it too, just this conversation we had right here. It's like there's so many people that are just incapable of talking about the things we've talked about, and they have no interest. And I went through a little season of my life where that just kind of drove me crazy. I was like, man, this is just really discouraging that people they're not even interested in thinking. They just, you have a conversation and they're just like, oh, this is what I'm thinking about having for lunch. And that's about like the depth of their thought. And it's just like, man, this is like really sucks.
It's a harsh reality, but we aren't here because of any accident. This is what the ruling classes wanted. So I used to teach, and I taught in high school and junior high too. So we started this process back with Bush in the No Child Left Behind, where we decided that what we would do is we would teach children to the test. So I'm gonna tell you what the answer is. The answer is cheetah. And every time you see the question, what's the fastest land animal, you answer cheetah.
The real learning is in the doing. And if you're wondering, what do I do? Go on Amazon and search Scott Strong by Scott Davenport. Just search that up. Type in Scott Strong by Scott Davenport. A lot of people have told me that it's out of print. The first edition is out of print, but there's a second edition. It's in print and it's less than $10. But it will tell you absolutely everything that you need to do. Everything. Also, for further resources, my wife and I are creating a website, www.davenportbarbell.com.